what I learned is whatever you acquire, you never lose it, even you see so. And you can do it again. Great. Age is not a barrier, your stamina will reduce, but wisdom will increase.
Morning everybody. I am Colonel Arvind Saxena. My sharing is from the army life to the IT life. I think it may be exciting for some of you, for the Karnataka also. I was in a very good comfort zone. Colonel, already in hand promotion as a brigadier, and all the comforts of life, having done what I've done. I took a decision to jump out to the IT world because I am a BTech electronics and telecommunication engineer. The initial was a big challenge for me because Army is sacrosanct as different breed altogether. Acceptance into civil world was very difficult. There's a company which gave me a break, and that break was great. It was in Malaysia. I did wonders there. They made huge profits. And then Gopinath, Fair Technical and his CIA. And you know the story of it. When I did in Working Fisher, I have opted out to go to a Singapore-based company, which is Consilium, and I am working with them. So again, a great company, doing very well now. So that's my story of jumping out on a very comfort zone from an extremely comfort zone to a discomfort zone and doing it.
Thanks for sharing that. Like you graduated from IIT Bombay as a chemical engineer, worked for 12 years in research. And then I found I could not commercialize, so I switched over to operations. And after 2 years, I was being a failure in operations, and I was asked to resign on my birthday. And then I said, what to do? Okay. One of my friends said, why don't you try IT? Going to IT, and today, that experience of 2 years as head of operations is helping me a lot in my role as CIO.
Great. Thank you. So we have to hold it there because I know. I think it's a matter of again digging a little bit deeper, going out of your comfort zone. It's so much easier just to enjoy the lunch and the coffee and the square and the beer. But if we step out a little bit and the person sitting next to you on the bus and you say, oh yaar, teri story kya hai? How many of us are really interested in the other person's story? But if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find diamonds. And at least one of the values I see in uncovering people's stories is then you know where that person's strength is coming from. You know, sometimes you see a person, he looks you in the eye and you say, yeah, isko confidence kahan se aa raha hai? It's coming from this journey. It's coming from this journey. Good too. I strongly recommend if those of you who are interested in that is to get hold of the book and read it. And there are several other pieces of work I could recommend to you separately if you're interested. But here's what I want to share with you. And this view is, in my understanding, the modern view of leadership, which certainly people at your level need to be familiar with, if not practicing. And in this view, a leader is not a person with a loud voice, is not a person with a big chair, is not a person who worked the longest, is not a person who is related to the owning family. The leader is a person who gets the work done. Okay? A leader is one who gets the work done. So look at this triangle for a moment and let's try and make sense of it. So the individual is whoever is the person in the workplace. His job is to get that work done. If the work is difficult or new, what are the chances? What will happen to that individual initially? What do you think is going to happen? Struggle. What are the chances he's going to succeed the first time round? Pretty low. And if all your life the only thing you've done is operate at 20% of your potential, and now suddenly you have to operate at 80% of potential, then obviously it's hard, right? So the chances are the individual is going to disengage. So the left slope, he keeps slipping down, he keeps slipping down. So the job of the leader is somehow to keep the bloke engaged in his work. If it is a work which he's already done many times over, he doesn't really need a leader. In fact, I would argue, I would not even call that work. I would call that routine. But if it's something new or difficult, a new environment, situation which a lot of you are going through, a new technology that is coming, we were talking about the post-Twitter world in the morning, huge changes. Now one is you put the head in the sand and say, no, actually nothing has changed. Chodo yaar. Or if you face the reality, then it's troublesome, engagement becomes difficult, there's a lot of tempting disengagement. So the role of the leader then is to somehow get the individual engaged, and how does he do it? In the old world, he would do it by simply telling him what to do. But in the new world, the leader himself doesn't know what to do. So what is he going to tell him what to do? You are not the most current on every technology. You don't have the maximum energy perhaps in your organization. There are people who are younger, faster. So what do you bring to the party? Why should you be paid more? The only reason you can be paid more in this view is that you bring something that keeps this guy engaged in his task. And that something has two parts to it. One, you are able to give him the emotional support that, okay, I am behind you, you keep going. Avancha movie is made very famous, right? Mehuna. You do, I'm there. I'll handle the system, I'll handle the establishment, you engage. And the second is to set an example through his or her own struggle and own stories. The reason very often there is a feeling of loss or emptiness or cynicism in the corporate world is because leaders themselves are not setting an example. So when is the last time you did something which was like a hero's journey? When is the last time you struggled and did something hard? If you've basically been a boss for 15 years, inside that's a pretty hollow feeling. We all know that. But I think the good news is it's never too late. It's never too late to pick up threads and say, okay, why not something new? Why not something different? And that is when you become a true leader and start exercising influence over your people, not by force, but by moral or inspirational influence over them. So in this view, leadership is about unknown solutions to unknown problems. Management is about known solutions to known problems. So if you make the language slightly more complex, leadership by definition is an adaptive task. Management is fundamentally a technical task. And technical in this language means something that's been done over and over again. You may not know it, but all you have to do is get the relevant manual or get the relevant technology and plug it in. But if there's something completely new, this frontier-breaking stuff, then perhaps it's different, and anyone who gets the work done is a leader. In this view, you don't necessarily need to be the boss to be the leader. Some of the conversations I'm going to be having with some of you between today and tomorrow, we're going to explore this view of what is your own relationship with leadership. So let's move a little bit from here to the next stage, which is, let me try. Are you going to press it too?